What is up, dude? Martin! How you doing, buddy? Dude, Martin, that project of yours is looking really awesome, dude. Love that you're sculpting rocks and shit. Looks great. Looks really great. Oh, fun. Bloop, 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 bloop. What is up, Slow B? Good morning. How's everybody doing today? I'm gonna be working on some more of the Pixo creature that I've been working on. Got one more Sunday to finish it up, and I want to make sure that I get to the 3D printing aspect of the sculpt. So this is kind of where we left off, and I thought it would be cool to kind of play around a little bit with it. Hey Gabor, Peter, how you doing? Welcome in. Pretty good, working away. Nice. Cool. Well, good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, or good evening. I guess it really depends where you are. But let's get to it. I'm excited. Yeah, I want to try to get this as detailed as possible. Play with a few other ideas. Yeah. Thinking we might do like a open mouth too. That'd be kind of cool. Sup, Oreo? How you guys doing? I figure we'll be working a little bit today on this, and then depending on where we go from here, will depend on what we do on Friday. But yeah, it'll be fun. Kind of push it a little bit further than it is. What's up, Ryan? What's up? Dude, Ryan, that video was freaking awesome, my friend. I freaking loved that video. Okay. What I'm going to do is actually start maybe moving his head a little bit. I think I want his mouth open. So let's get that going. I think it'll be a little bit more dynamic if we do that. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm planning to really improve my sculpting. This type of stuff is what I'm most concerned about, which I have the sculpt for that project. Click on that bad boy. Oh yeah, okay, nice. Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea, man. That's a really good approach to making sure that you can do the thing that you want to do. And sculpting something like this, I think you're gonna hit that right out of the park, dude. It's gonna be great. Yeah, I know. Love to Chris completely changed how I run my business. Yeah, it's great. It's great what I'm seeing so far, man. Okay. I don't know if I like that. I don't think I do. I think his mouth closed is looking pretty cool. I think we'll just end up detailing a little bit more. Make it a little bit more gritty and stuff. Yeah, no, his videos are pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited to go down the rabbit hole. Already started already. Going down the rabbit hole just a bit, trying to factor in some of it, so. Do I have any tips for that? Would love to hear advice from a ZBrush Pro. Oh, man, so nice. Yeah, actually, you know what I would do. Well, let me ask you a question, Martin. Are you going the latest version of ZBrush? Because the first thing I would do is, since this is a real object, um, get all the reference you can of this type of skull, and then really kind of bring in the images and overlay them and get the shapes with balloon mesh as quickly as possible so you can see the silhouette of the thing that you're doing. And then just yeah, and then I would just constantly match and try to just sculpt it as anatomically correct as possible. That's a bull's head, right? Yeah. So yeah, I would definitely get an angle like this. Although that's a 3D model. But yeah, I would focus on just getting the shapes, get something a little bit more like that. What's cool is you don't have to focus so much on getting it 100% perfect to the reference image. It just has to look like that thing. And you could see that there's so many different translations of what a bull skull would look like. So I would pull as much reference as possible and really just try to get it somewhere in the middle of everything that you're seeing. Getting horns and stuff like that's gonna be really cool. Like getting the basic shape. If you balloon mesh and kind of just sketch out a quick shape and then start plugging in a hole, I think you're gonna find this to be a lot easier at the approach than you might think. Something like this, yeah. Now, if you're going for true realism, really focusing on some of the micro details, but I wouldn't even focus on that. I would just focus on getting the silhouette going and then start worrying about the details last. Hopefully that makes sense. Good morning, Witch Cat. Are you going to focus on keying and splitting next pixel? Yes, I promise I'd do that. So that's why we're kind of detailing some stuff. So it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, animals, animal sculpting in anything. I was talking to Kamara about it. Because we don't see animals on a day-to-day basis like we see humans, um, you can get away with a lot with any type of animal sculpture. I mean, you want to get it as real close as possible, but at the end of the day, especially skulls, there's a lot of interpretation. I mean, look at the difference between this one right here and this one right here. Just those two are night and day differences. This is a lot more smooth and polished, and this one's a lot more grittier. The horn placement is whatever, so you have your good base reference to match it as close as you can to that, but you have so much room for adaptation. I think it'll be good. If I sound tired, guys, sorry, I'm just waking up. And I got my Folgers in my cup. Oh, actually, it's Starbucks coffee, but Starbucks beans. Yeah, close that. So yeah, okay. Let's start pushing this bad boy. So if you guys haven't been with me, every Sunday at 5 p.m. I stream for Pixelogic now, and this is where we last left off. Started detailing, cleaning up, getting some stuff going. I was looking pretty cool, pretty excited about it. But now we're gonna start detailing some of the stuff, get some of the teeth and the horns looking pretty grotesque. I want to actually continue kind of building the ship a little bit. So let's actually start with that. Let's start there. I think that'll be a good spot. And I'm going to solo this out so that we can kind of get a little bit more of like, we can start doing some booleans. Literally drinking some warm milk. Nice. Yeah. I hear warm milk is like actually really comforting and soothing, but I can't do it unless it has chocolate in it. I can't do it any other way. So That's kind of where my head's at. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird like that. Needs a tiny mermaid set. Right? Yeah. Well, we're definitely going to be doing something with this ship because the fun part is, you know, how tiny it's going to be. This was my reference image. I could show you guys a little bit more of what's going on. So here's all my reference and my mood board. You can see some of the different ideas and poses I've tried, some of the different creatures and like ideas of the mouth open, etc., etc. I really liked this. You can kind of see where I got that pose from. Now we're working on the ship, and I really like this ship a lot. But I think the amount of sails on here are pretty crazy. So I'm gonna pull up a little bit more reference, but I wanted to get some more details and stuff like that. So I wanted to focus on some of the micro details and getting that going. Hey, Flash Killer, thank you so much. Warm milk with maple syrup mixed in. Oh, baby. Yeah. Cold milk on a hot day, definitely. Yeah. Warm milk, cold milk is the way to go. I like to take a glass. If I'm going to drink milk, I like to take a glass and I like to stick it in the freezer. And then I like to have that sit there for a minimum of 20 to 30 minutes. And then when you pour milk in there, that crispy, ice cold milk, that I can get on board with. Okay. Let me see something. Okay, so I'm gonna try something real quick. We're gonna go to stroke. We're gonna curve functions. Crease stitches. Okay, great. What I'm thinking is we need to get something. Let's get the Z modeler brush out. I'm also gonna change my material so you guys can kind of see what's going on. Let's grab this guy for a second. I'm gonna go ahead and split hidden, so that way I can just focus on this itself. Milk and vodka? No way. That sounds. Russian. Oh, White Russian.
I mean,
yeah, I guess. Yeah. If you get some Kahlua, and then you're on board. You can't just do the milk and vodka part. It's not the same. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and increase, and I'm gonna increase the entire loop. So then I have this right here. And then I'm gonna go ahead to stroke, and I'm gonna focus on the creased edge, and I'm gonna frame that mesh. It's a good way to get some really nice, clean stuff. And then we'll take a curve. Actually, I'm gonna take the extrude profile and get something kind of cool like this. Except for I don't want that to... There we go. Something like that. It's a great way to just get a nice, good, clean loop around. That came in at a bad time, man. There wasn't enough coffee in the world for me right now. Too much milk talk. Yeah. Indeed, indeed. Okay. Whoa, go back. Yeah, let's go a little smaller. That's good. Kind of pull that out a little bit. Go ahead and take this. Let's go ahead and fill our object so we have that. I'm actually thinking, you know what we should do? We should flip this over. We should go a little bit more of a gray color just to have something stands out a little bit more. Yeah, that's better. So we'll keep this color, but then we'll select this guy. Let's go ahead and fill color. There we go. And actually, when we come back, let's do more of a cherry red. Something like this. No, I want... Come on. Sometimes this is just a pain in the ass when you want a certain... Yep, that's the one I want. Grab that. Fine. All these sales are gonna just take all that. Beautiful. Okay. Grab this. Fill object. Maybe a little darker than that. And I'm just going to go ahead and split hidden real quick. Let's grab that. Split hidden. This way this could be the sales. There we go. Enar! Yeah, the kids are on spring break, so I took the week off. Went on a 4.5 mile walk in the hills yesterday. So pretty. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Going on those walks are nice. Okay. Go ahead and grab this guy, and let's just mask this part off. And we'll go ahead and fill that. There we go. So I'm going for a little bit more of a like a schooner. A schooner. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and let's grab our primitives. I'm going to grab a Q cube. So I can kind of draw it out like this. Come on. Something like that. And I'm actually going to be putting kind of where, you know, kind of like this little undercarriage. Let's go ahead and split unmasked. No, not geometry. Wow, I really am tired today. Don't even know where my tools are. It's like I was thinking of yeah, I was thinking of mall rats. I don't know if I was thinking of that line. It's just like kid comes up looking at the picture and he's like, "Oh, it's a schooner." The kid's like, "You dumb bastard. It's not a schooner, it's a sailboat." And he's like, "A schooner is a sailboat, dumb dumb." So that's it's my 1990s reference for you kids, babe. Such a great movie. Highly recommended. There we go. Hey there. All right. So I'm just adding some edge loops at this point. And this way I can. Boom, there we go. Stan Lee cameo before the MCU. Hell yeah, absolutely. That was awesome too, man. Like, and then that's actually my favorite part about. Hey, thank you so much for the follow, Takati. That was actually my favorite part about Captain Marvel, was that, you know, they had a Mallrats cameo with Stan Lee. in there. That was pretty cool. Really, like, just brought it full circle. Yeah, so it was great. Like, they ended up like nodding to that because of that time period. So it was really cool. They're called sleeves in Canada, and it confused me for a while. Yeah, that would be confusing. You know, I love like finding the things that other countries call, you know, like I was intrigued the day I learned that an elevator was called a lift. And I actually thought that the word lift made more sense than elevator. You could never see those magic eye paintings. I don't think I ever really tried. I don't think that was ever like I vaguely remember them. They were so trendy.
Yeah, the flash of the hair.
Yeah. I don't really remember them so much. But when I see one, I'm like, oh yes, of course, that thing exists. Yeah, we say lift. You say lift too? Yeah. Okay. See, that makes sense to me. Lift makes sense. I mean, I don't find anything wrong with elevator. I just think lift does make more sense. But then it's funny because I don't want to start saying lift, you know, because it's not common here. So I just like, it's one of those things where like I'm like, okay, I recognize that that is what it's said in other countries, but I'm not going to start calling it that here. There we go. Yeah, in Britain, pants are underwear and trousers are pants. Just never use trousers. And fanny pack. Don't say fanny pack in Britain. Fanny refers to your backside, your buttocks. But what do they call a fanny pack in Britain? I forget what they call it. Fanny is the front side? Wait, what? Are you sure? Fanny, I without at least in it's like a pouch. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think fanny refers to the backside in Britain. Wait, Danny or Fanny? Okay, now I'm confused. Damn, in Australia, it's the front side. Fanny is the front. Oh, Fanny is the front? Okay, then what do you call a fanny pack then? But that's not what the... I watched it. It was a weird show on BBC. It was on Netflix for a little bit. It was like a 90s show. But they called it something different. I don't know. Maybe the times are changing. Maybe the times are changing. Or I just don't know what the hell I'm talking about, which is probably more likely. You just don't even listen to me. You know, say, hey, look at ZBrush. Yeah. I don't know. Like, Atomic's backside or arse? Oh, right. Yeah, because you guys don't say ass. You say arse. Yeah. You're pretty color.
I have to see a man about a bicycle. He said that to me once, and I was like, okay.
Oh, well, yeah, that's...
Oh, he is. Oh.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's bizarre. Do they say ZBrush in UK? Oh, that's a great question. I have no idea. Sometimes? Interesting, yeah. See, my buddy of mine would tease me when I would say Z, like X, Y, and Z, when I was talking more like the manufacturer, CNC term. And is interesting because he would tease me a little bit because then he's like, oh, you're watching a lot of UK tutorials. And it's like, well, yeah, that's what they call. That's how they say it. Okay. Let's go ahead and start adding some. Come on, I want to. Why doesn't ZBrush ever grab the thing I want to grab? Hi, ZBrush. There we go. Okay. We're gonna start grabbing. Let's see here. I think what I want to do. Let's grab the curve. No, let's not do that. Let's do this. Let's go. I'm gonna create edges, and then we'll crease those edges, and then we'll use those to wrap some curves and stuff around. So we're gonna make this a little fun. So grab a few edges here, there. You guys will see what I'm talking about in a second. Do they? That is cool, yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and go crease. Crease the edge loop. I'm gonna crease these edge loops like this. There. Awesome. Now let's just take the extruder profile, go to stroke, frame those meshes. And we're gonna do like a rope texture. So let's do, yeah, something like that. Perfect. Let's actually go up a little bit and, yeah, there we go. Maybe not that one. Oh yeah, that one's better. It's the Scribe 10, that's what we're gonna remember. Let's grab the Z modeler brush, let's tap that. Grab the new extrude profile. Yep, beautiful. That's what we're gonna do. It's a great way to add in some good lines. Okay, let's grab the brush here. On the edge, insert. Yeah, I'm always fascinated with learning how other countries say things or do things. It's pretty cool. Also just kind of helps me with perspective. Okay, now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go to geometry, crease. I'm gonna uncrease everything just to make sure that I don't recrease certain aspects that I don't want. I'm gonna go to crease that edge loop. I also missed one over here, so make sure to hit that. Cool. We'll grab the extruder profile. Number 2, Scribe 10. Again, go to stroke, frame mesh uncreased, then just touch that. Bam. It's beautiful. Look at that. Quickly and effectively adding some sort of nice. Well, you're gonna go play Breath of the Wild?
You off your coffee before I go?
Oh, yes, please. Hey, thanks. Yeah. That's one of the new ZBrush Extrude Profile 2. It's a really useful brush, really useful technique. So I'm digging that a lot. Okay. Let's go ahead and add like a flag of some sort. So let's grab a cylinder. Perfect. Just kind of grab this up. Now we'll have these that we can put the flags on. Let's just use a insert cube for this next part. Scale this up. Let's pull this out. And then without really thinking about it, we're just gonna mask off a couple sections like this. Kind of just offset it a little bit. Because we're gonna 3D print it, we'll just make sure that it's just kind of set in there. We don't really need to go too crazy. Okay. Let's turn off dynamics for a second. We need to crease a few things so that it doesn't break on us. Is there a good way to center a mesh or snap to a vertice that you create? Yes. Yes, there is actually. So, well, if you want to, okay, so if you want to center a mesh or to snap to so that it snaps to a vert that you create, there's a couple brushes that do that. So if you want to bring in something that's truly center, what you can do is actually use an IMM brush. So for example, take the IMM basic, and when you hover over a point and you start dragging, that will automatically be centered to it. The other way that you could do things, let me see if there's a good way. Like, are you also asking, like, are you trying to bring in, like, bring a second object and then kind of snap it to another object that's not drawn out that way? Like, I want to make sure I understand the question correctly, because that's one way to do it, is to just bring in that object here, and then that's automatically snapped to that vertice, which I do a lot. The other thing to do, let me see if there's another good way of doing it. Trying to think if there's another way you could do that. I think that'd be the best way to do it. I want to make sure I understand your question correctly. Nah, yeah, that's how I was thinking. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. You can see here where I kind of failed. So you see how like that's how this cylinder came in, but you can see that my vertices kind of busted here a little bit because I went through a live Boolean phase. So this was kind of off center, so I'll have to reset that. So I'll actually go here, delete hidden. And I'll actually want to set that in manually. But yeah, that's the best way to do it. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this. I'm also working non-symmetrical at this point, which does tend to cause problems sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of set that off just a little bit like such. There we go. Are you referring to, like, am I holding V and snapping a tool to vertex? Yeah, I'm not sure if yeah, that'd be another case. Yeah, I was actually trying to think of if that is possible to do, which I don't remember if you can. I don't remember how you would do that in ZBrush, if you can do that in ZBrush. I want to say you can, but I don't think I know the exact solution on how to do it. Yeah, I don't know if there's a snap to vertice feature outside of the Z modeler. If you know, Ryan, that'd be awesome. I'd be down to learn something new today too. Okay. Okay, what I will be doing though, let's see, let's create some ropes. Found some scripts that do it, but generally you can't. Okay, great, yeah. That makes sense. Okay, so we're gonna be adding some ropes now. Of course, everything I'm doing is gonna be for 3D printing. And so we're gonna have to make sure that whatever I create is gonna be printable. That's always the trick, right? Actually. So I'm going to be putting a few of these here like such. You'll be right back? Be right back, buddy. No worries. So we'll be making some ropes here. Hey! Hello, hello. How are you doing, Hakibaru? How was your... Today's what, Wednesday? It's Wednesday. How was your Wednesday? Oh, we finished the anatomy studies. No more naked babies? Not today. Not today. No, today I am finishing up this baby from the Pixo stream. We are finalizing and kind of more detailing. I wanted to get a lot more sculpted with during the Pixo stream, but unfortunately just didn't have enough time. And taking questions kind of slows things down, which I love taking questions, but I really wanted to focus more on it. So I'm definitely now just kind of detailing the ship a little bit. So yeah. In fact, we're going to go ahead and split this off. So split hidden. I'll call this rope. Yeah. So that's all. Today is detail the sculpts. And then depending on how far I get today, because I'm only streaming until like noon. However far we get today, we'll probably continue it on Friday. So okay. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the transpose tool. This is a really cool trick, you guys. Where if we solo this out, oops. So I'm gonna pull the gizmo out. Where are we? Gizmo, Y for transpose. I'm actually gonna stretch this across. Hold Alt. I'm actually gonna be bending this, just like such. Hit Y again. Center that transpose. And now we'll get like some sort of... we get the effect that we want, so it looks like it's bending from afar. Not sure if that's extra made for 3D printing, but I think the sails is a bit too thick. Yeah, the sails, I haven't... they're just placeholders. But I haven't also figured out how big I want it, so there is a little bit of 3D printing adjustment. Basically want to set the scene and then start correcting all the stuff that I need from there. Let's go auto groups. Bring that up a little bit. Extra thickness for good measure. Yeah, anytime, like what I'll do a lot is I will just put something there to see the bigger picture. And then I'll go over it in the detail phase and see if that's even something that's going to work. Like from here, this thing kind of looks crappy, but is it going to be the thing I want it to be once I get it this far back? Hopefully, that's the idea. I'm going to copy this. Let's get that color going. Yeah. I mean, this ship's going to be pretty small, so even adding this rope might be a little too much, you know? Like, I might be adding too much detail for how small it's going to be. So, something to keep in mind. As I'm talking to myself right now, I'm realizing that I may not even want that. I don't know if that's going to look good. Because I'm thinking the ship will probably be an inch tall. So yeah, I think I want to focus a little bit more on some other stuff too. I also bounce around a lot. Let's get that gizmo going. I'm also going to have to think about how I want to break this up too, which is always going to be the fun part. Okay. All right. Okay, let's look at a little bit more ship reference real fast. Okay, great. I think actually what I'm going to want to do now is actually give it some texture. So I'm going to go ahead and actually apply this subdivision on this ship. I'm going to mask this out. And in ZBrush, under texture, I believe, there's some, I think there's some wood planks in here. Let's see here. Wood. Okay, cool. So, hold that for a second. I'm gonna grab the standard brush. Open this bad boy up. Come on, where are you? Double click this texture, grab this image. I'm going to make that an alpha, turn that texture off, turn this to drag. "3D mist partially, blah, blah, blah." I mean, it's partially hidden. Okay, thank you. Add some subdivisions. There we go. So now I can get some ship texture. Mask that side off. Can you set the pivot point of an insert mesh? No, you can't set a pivot point of the insert mesh. But you can set, well, when you create an insert mesh, you can, when you create it from scratch. But if you bring like an IMM in, it's going to draw the way it was designed to do off of any point that you draw it on. So if I were to create my own IMM, my IMM brush, I can bring in that object, and wherever that object sits in the viewport is how it will be created. But you can't just set a pivot point. You pick the point in which it comes off of. At least to the best of my knowledge. Right, yeah, when creating. Yes, when creating it, yes, absolutely. And if you wanted to do that, basically what you need to do is, let's say the cylinder's where you're at, and you're going to create this in IMM brush. So let's just figure out a brush, create. Yeah, let's do one more. Just make a second tool in there just so you can see the difference. Bloop, bloop. Okay. So we'll make this one like this, facing me, and then this one's like that. So one's facing me, one's not. So when you were to go and actually create and insert multi-mesh, right? How this one is sitting is how that's going to draw out. But if I go to this one, oh, I guess, okay, maybe, what? Maybe they fixed that. I thought you could. No, you can. Hold on. I must have done something wrong. Pick the Z modeler brush for a second. Let's go here. Hey, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. I'm seeing it from the top this way. Insert multi-mesh. Grab this one. I guess it's correcting it. Oh no, there it is. Yeah, okay. No. It's off center. It's slightly off center. So I mean you can, but I always recommend, you want to set it up to be straight on if possible. Yeah, try to see it straight on or straight down, one of the two. But yeah, in a sense you can. It's just weird. Hey, thank you so much for the follow, Gallardo Digital. Yeah, it's best to just have your IMM brush look straight down on or straight on. If you offset it, it can create that, but you want it to snap to the vert as much as possible. So looking at it in those two previews should be fine. Also, I don't create IMM brushes in perspective. That might throw you off too. That might cause issue. Oh, standard brush. I can get some detail in here. Okay, let's do that. There we go. So obviously we went a little bit more chunkier with that type of detail, just so that we can see it when we print it. Yeah. The script is in the description. The script is in the description. What do you mean? Now I'm confused. Okay, I'm gonna delete this thing right here. We don't need that. There we go. Yeah, that's a fun texture. That's just stock with ZBrush too. It's really fun. I like that. And I'm gonna go back to the other wood right here. There's also this water texture too. So I'm gonna come here, make alpha from that, turn that off. Let's turn that off real quick. Let's grab this dark wood. Might be a little bit much on there. There we go. Maybe we'll just kind of make it look like an old rotten boat. I'm okay with that. Again, this ship's going to be tiny, so I don't want to sit here and focus on too many details that don't matter. Oh, sorry. No links I need to. Okay. Let's actually go to the standard brush real quick. Let's go back to that texture. Whee! I'm gonna double click this water texture. Make alpha. Just gonna start adding a lot of those ripples. Just bringing that detail out because this water doesn't really matter. Just gonna lay that material on top. There we go. That's just gonna bring some nice depth to it. A little bit of detail. And again, if we turn off all of our color, we can kind of see what the print's getting. Let's take the move brush. Here we go. I'm also thinking too. Sent in Discord. Okay, perfect. ZBrush script. Move a subtool to vertex snapping. Oh shit, nice. Okay, great. I'm gonna go ahead and paste that back into our chat. Just so you guys can, people who are here can see it. I haven't messed with Z script ever. That's something I definitely have no idea. I know nothing about. Yeah, no, yeah. Ryan, thank you so much for that. That's great. Okay. I'm gonna take the snake curve. I'm actually gonna go ahead and start. I'm gonna try something here. Take this edge. I'm actually gonna kind of flow this out a little bit. like that. So I'm going to extend the scene a little bit. It's a copy and paste pretty much. Yeah, that's still. Yeah, there's still like so much to unpack there. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the slice curve. Thanks for looking that up, by the way, dude. Okay, with a slice curve, we're going to go ahead and delete lower. Cool. Delete hidden close holes. There we go, yeah. Clip curve that. There we go. Just creating a little bit more of that scene. Let's go back to our standard brush with our water texture. I'm gonna turn back face mask on. Maybe what we could do now is actually come on top of it, hit the snake hook brush. Nope, snake hook brush. BSH. I think what I want to do is actually kind of push this around a little bit more, so that the base isn't just, you know, a circle. Get like a little bit more movement there. I think that might be kind of cool. This way I think it kind of tells a little bit more of the story, but also gives it some interesting elements to look at from all angles instead of just a circle. God, that inflate with a noisy alpha. Fell in love. I know, right? Yep. I was looking for that question weeks ago. So good timing, I guess. Yeah, absolutely. For the water break. Yeah. Yeah, I'd actually take the try the inflate as well with that water alpha. Might be pretty beneficial. But let's turn that back on. That's too much. You don't need 11 million for that stuff. Okay. Okay. Now I'm just adding water noise. I have backface mask on my drag, so I'm not really worried about how it's going to affect the undercarriage, because it's not going to. There we go. A little bit more dynamic to it. And then again, we're going to be placing a key cut right in there on that water with that ship, so pretty excited about that. Now, if you do want to like set your gizmo to the center of a vertice, and you're not quite sure if you're locked in or not, you know, especially when you're symmetrically off like this, and I don't know if it's center, you could hit Y on the transpose tool and touch that one point so that you'll get this. Hit Y again and your gizmo will follow, and it'll always follow to the blue axis, or the Z axis, and then you can actually stretch or thin something if you want to do it that way. So I wanted to thin these sails a little bit. That's one of the best ways to do it. That gizmo transpose relationship is really powerful. And then just send that there. Really stretch that out. Give something like that. Perfect. Let's go ahead and apply so that we have subdivisions on it now, because then we're going to be detailing that up. I definitely recommend Animator Water Studies tutorials for sculpting water if anyone's curious. Understanding the movement and the freeze in time. Yep. Oh man. Yeah, water's crazy. Water is weird. You can like guess at it, but it'll be obvious. Yeah, I kind of want to just... Okay, that's what we're going to do next. Yeah. Gonna drop this down. Really soften this part up. Really soften it. Yeah, I struggle with water and blood all the time and stuff like that. Yep. Yeah. It is definitely not easy. But you know, sometimes too, that's where painting the object will come in handy, because then you'll kind of be able to sit there and say, like, does that look like the thing in color as it should? Trying to grab a certain amount, being very picky for some reason. Okay, you know what? Mask. It's moving! That's the problem. Yeah, you have to think in particles, all directions moving. There's so much secondary, third, fourth, fifth movements. Yep, upon the general movement. Absolutely. Yeah. It's imperative to look up the thing. You know, it's where, like, going back to anatomy for a second, right? So anatomy is always and forever, like, everything has anatomy. There's no getting away from that. So it's imperative to look up how that thing reacts, you know. And then there's that fine line too of, like, I need to get this thing done, but I need it to look like the thing. So, you know, there is like a happy medium. And I guess that goes back to the whole, like, is this good enough? Do I like this? You know, if you're looking for perfection, you'll stay stuck wherever you are for a long time. Where at least here you can be like, okay, this is starting to look like that thing, and you just study it, and then you practice that thing. That's why people sculpt shoes and stuff. So that you just keep practicing it. That's why I slowly take projects too that have, like, all these different elements to it. I never pick a project, if it's personal, that's going to be something I've sculpted 100 times, unless I'm testing, like, how I've come in that process. So, like, if you ever see me sculpt Venom, or some sort of Venom, it's because I'm, like, really curious on how I've progressed since my last attempt. Yeah, Anatomy of Water. There's a There's a month-long topic. It really is, dude. Yep, absolutely. Same with cloth, man. Cloth and water. Two things I think a lot of people struggle with, including myself. So, yeah. Dynamics, the physics, have something. What I say is, you know, when I really started getting serious about sculpting, my biggest advice to myself that I probably gave me was pay attention to everything in your life that you could possibly sculpt at some point or another. Pay attention to how water flows. Pay attention to how, you know, a knife reacts when you open it up, or how you cut something, how it chops and falls. Like, pay attention to those little nuanced things that you never paid attention to before. And then when you stop and look at somebody else's work, or even you're looking at your own work, you then kind of slowly start recalling those experiences when you are consciously aware that you're looking for them. And it's helped me a lot in my studies. What's up, Tolden? What's up, dude? You know, we can't possibly know everything there is to know, but we can definitely get pretty damn close. So if you look at those things, I think it'll be a lot easier of an experience, or at least it'll be a lot more helpful. Let's put it that way. It's also really useful finding new project ideas when look at everything in your life. Very detailed. Yep. It is going. It is going. I am happily sculpting more of the Pixo sculpt that I did, so that way I can actually get to the fun 3D printing phase. So yeah, no, it's going really good. How are you doing? So yes. Okay. I'm gonna take this flag. I'm gonna solo this out for a second. So I'm gonna take the flag. I'm gonna go ahead and split hidden. Make sure to call these flags rename flags, right? Then every time I hit dynamic on this, it's always kind of crushing these pillars down a little bit. So I kind of got to see if that's something I like or don't like. And I do actually kind of like that it's doing that, but I don't like how uncontrolled it is. So we're going to control that. We're going to take the Z modeler brush, hover over an edge. And then we're going to go ahead and do insert. Actually, you know what? I got a better solution. Instead of doing that, grab all the things that I want to do this to. Okay, let's go ahead and split hidden. Just call this rope. Okay, come up here. We're actually going to go ahead and go to group by normals. And then we're going to go and crease polygroups. I'm going to go to crease. This is a really fun part too. I'm actually going to go ahead and kind of adjust the crease bevel. Actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and hide that one and hide that one. Okay, fine. Split hidden. Do something like this. There we go. So we get that kind of taper. Yeah, that's better. So when we apply that, that's going to be a lot more of a controlled taper, which is what we want. My teacher that taught me Maya said, the more you do this, you'll start seeing vertices everywhere in real life. Then, only then, are you a modeler. You'll never forget that. Absolutely. Yeah. You got to look at everything. Because, you know, we're supposed to... Not supposed to, but it helps us draw inspiration from everything in our life if we pay attention to it. You're doing okay? Trying to juggle infinite energies. Finite energies, wow. Between work, school, fam, and creative passions. Yes, it is. Everything about that sentence, I clearly relate to and know exactly what you're talking about. And I will say, since you can already put that in a sentence, you're doing great. Being able to recognize that is the hard part, I think. Okay. So we're just adding some wood texture here. And I'm not really caring too much about how that wood texture looks as a whole. I'm just kind of putting something there so that it's there. And I like doing all this by hand, so. I'm gonna lose a lot of this information anyway, but a little bit of noise is gonna be so helpful. It's gonna look like rope. It's gonna look like a rope. Wrong one. I keep hitting that one. There we go. Yeah, first steps. Not toy, plastic feeling. Exactly, right? Yep. Soon I'm going to be kind of looking at sails and how they have wrinkles and folds in them here in a minute. With the sails, I think the sails have to go vertical. I'm going to be pivoting them here in a second. Let's actually grab all of the things that we want to pivot. Bring that down a little bit more. Looking sexy. What's up, Spicer? Hey, what's up, my dude? Everybody. Spice is in the house. That means it's time to say hello. Everybody come check out Spicer. It's an awesome dude, man. He will take you to that next level. You always do, man. Dude, how was the rest of your stream yesterday? How did that go? We're just doing all these nice little details of the ship. I gotta figure out the scale of this bad boy. Did you get past that horsey? Just looking really sick. Okay, I think too, now that we are dealing with like a schooner. No, just kidding. Let's put little. We're gonna put some, like a little bit of buildings in there almost. Thanks for hanging out last night. It went pretty well. I sculpted a shitty horse. Great times. I'll refine it the next time for sure. Yeah, exactly right. Nah, man, it wasn't shitty. It was actually looking really good. I really do love watching you work, sir, because it's pretty amazing to watch somebody kind of do things similarly. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of, I feel like we have like very similar processes where like go in with all the different muscle details, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I always enjoy hanging out with you. Always. All right. It's never a dull day in the dojo. Do you know? Oh, you know what? I didn't want the insert cube. I wanted a Q cube. Oh, what are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? Oh. Kind of expand this. Okay. Let's actually grab this color right here. And fill that bad boy. Kind of round that off for a second. Appreciate that, ZBHO Dojo. Artistic violence and drama. Absolutely. Did you know who the nicer streamer in the world? Spicer's so nice. Spicer's the nicest guy in the world, man. I take after him. No, Steven Anderson's sick, dude. Yeah, he's a super nice guy. I love hanging out with him. Another awesome dude. Love his work. I think I'm going to do is actually grab this one, split head in. There we go. There we go. Get something like that going. I think too. Grab this guy. Split head in. Take this guy. And merge down with that guy. Loop. There we go. And I'm just going to go ahead and control that bad boy. What am I going to be streaming this Sunday? I am going to be streaming, splitting this bad boy up for 3D print. That way people can kind of see how I do it. Answer some 3D printing questions. Especially since there's a lot of people who are itching for that info. So that's what I'm going to be. So I'll be finishing this guy up and then slicing and dicing him. I kind of want to do like a little prep work on it. Just so that I'm not crashing the stream since my files tend to be a little heavy before. And also too, talking about like how to slice up and add keys and when should you Dynamesh, all that good stuff. I feel like I feel like that'll be a pretty decent thing to talk about. I only caught the tail end of your stream last night, Spicer, but I thought the horse was looking pretty awesome. It was looking awesome. Are we gonna end up having a stream of the camera just on the printer? Oh wait, are we gonna have a stream of the camera just on the printer? I don't have my resin printer set up for that, but my FDM, I've done that before. I mean, but okay, it's gonna sound weird because I like watching prints, but who wants to watch a printer print? You know what I mean? Like, is that something you guys dig? Can you dig it? Look at that. Okay. Go ahead and just kind of look at it like this for a second. See if that even looks the way I want it to look. It's looking pretty cool. Like, you know, I thought about setting up to have, because I usually have prints going, but yeah, I don't know. Every streamer I've seen who has that, I don't necessarily find it interesting. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm only interested in my thing. Oh, wait. I mean, you were going to stream the whole process, right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe not the whole process. Maybe not the entire process. Maybe just most of the process. Nothing sexier than a 3D printing doing its thing. Time-lapse would be good. People love watching something come to life. Anytime I see someone take a ball bearing and make a knife, I watch it. Yeah, that shit's cool. I can watch blacksmithing all day long. That's true. People like time lapses. That would be super boring. But in real time, that's what I mean though. In real time, I don't see too many people wanting that. Then again, there was an entire stream dedicated to two Alexas talking to each other for like 2-3 hours. So there is that. That has happened before. Did you see that cable that Uncle Jesse was talking about for ultra smooth print time lapses? Yes, I did. Yeah. Yep. And as long as you have an old enough camera or a current, well, at least as long as you have a DSLR that has that little import for that remote trigger, then yeah, it's going to be really good. Okay, let me look at sales wrinkles. Just kind of want to, I feel like it makes sense, but you know. Sales. Yeah, I'm actually curious how much he sells that for too, because that's pretty badass. It's looking good. Thanks, Magnus. How you doing? Welcome in, buddy. Okay. There we go. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is add some... Thank you so much for the follow, Magnus. I appreciate it. Okay, what I'm going to do here is actually see if I can do some fun little surface noises. So let's go to surface. Boop. Go to noise. Let's frame that bad boy. Let's go to noise plugin. Yeah, those time lapses were so cool. Absolutely, they were. Yeah. I wonder how long he's been working on that, Because I've seen a lot of interesting time lapses, but if you have something that's going to give you the right result every time, that's going to be super cool. So I'm going to check it out. But again, like for my resin printer, the problem that I have for my resin printer is that it's in a space that's like kind of gross. It's not necessarily like, it's not necessarily a good place for it. You know, let's open up, not noise plug, I hit that weird. Let's actually cancel that, go to Lightbox. You can get a visual representation of what I'm trying to get. Which really is going to be just these stripes right here. There we go. How many subtools in total? Ooh, that's a good question. Right now, 24 and growing by the minutes. All right, I'm gonna edit this. First off, let's put the color just a little bit. Rotate this around. Kind of scale that a little bit. So you get that right there. So that color just kind of helps me get that more vertical spots. That color blend, we could turn that off, but now we can adjust that strength. Add some noise, say okay. Looking really good, mate. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, yeah. Are all resin printers kind of gross? Nah, man, don't talk about my resin printer that way. Yeah, I mean, you know, all resin printers are kind of interesting, but I mean, like, just to the idea that mine's in a kind of a weird location, so there's just a lot of, it's in my garage, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of funky dirt there and stuff. So for me, it's like not a good spot to be doing time lapses for resin printers. That is what I mean. Wow, I can't speak today. Yeah, they are messy, absolutely. That's what makes them so fun, though. I mean, who wants to just set something to print and then take it off and be like, man, that was good. No supports, no nothing. Who wants that? Gotta get our hands dirty. Make it seem like we did something. Funky dirt, yep. There we go. Kind of clean up those edges a little bit. There. Got a little bit of sail texture on there, I think. There we go. And that way it kind of reads as something. Now I'm going to take the damn standard, and I kind of want to cut into this a little bit, so I'm actually going to just hold shift and go right across that, like there. Here we go. Kind of lift that up a bit. Loop. There we go. Cut that in there. There we go. You hadn't gotten that far for your ship yet? Yeah. I was looking at these sail photos right now, and yeah, they're pretty... It's working out pretty well. What I want to do is come here, solo that out for a second, come back to this one. Yeah, dude, nine times out of 10, you guys see me doing something, I'm Kind of just trying it and seeing if it works. Push that back a little bit. It's all about playing. Okay, let's put those back. Those back. And actually, you know what? Let's come here. Let's say auto groups. Take that guy right there. Let's grab the lasso. Let's move that. Okay. I think I want to move this one. I think the sails are too uniform, so we're actually going to come here, grab this. Mask this part off for a second. Where's Captain Jack? Oh, we haven't gotten him there yet. Should we? We should definitely put Captain Jack on there now. All right, I think what I need to do too is like kind of split some of these off. So I need to like. I need to like kind of split some of this stuff off. Okay, let's split mast. Split mast, there we go. Hit all these points real quick. Ah, of course. In the serpent's belly. Yeah, getting drunk. As he should be doing. Split it in. Okay. Okay, I'm not worried about that right now. What the hell is that? Oh, Jesus. Split hidden on that one part. Look at this. I got this piece here. Okay. Merge down. There we go. This is where organization would probably be a little bit more helpful. Okay, that one goes there, that one goes there. Let's go ahead and just merge that down. Great. So let's look at the sails next. Yeah, merge down. Cool. Because I want to kind of rotate this around a little bit. And I think I'll rotate the back one too. Okay, let's go ahead and just hide this. Down. There we go. There. Now it's a little bit more. And definitely make that a little bit more interesting. Put that one right there. The Oli Fist Belly. Yeah, it's such a weird name, the Oli Fist. I think that's how you say it. I was super intrigued. I always wanted to sculpt a little sea creature like this. So I was always really intrigued. But, just never gotten around to it. So this was a lot of fun to hit. I'm thinking about putting barrels and stuff in the water too, giving it a little bit more of a tail. I don't know if they'll translate well. Barrels would be really small at this point. Because this isn't the type of ship that would even... I mean, this isn't the ship that would have... Maybe barrels and crates. How about that? We could do that. I think that's what I want to do. I think that'd be really cool. Give it a little bit more of a story without having to overpack the ship with such small details that, again, I don't think are going to print 100% well. Let's grab that guy. Is this my first time sculpting a ship? Yeah, it's my first time sculpting a ship and trying to print it. Yeah, kind of challenged myself a little bit. And you know, I'm just a regular sailor, so I know all the fun terms. Do you know? Let's grab the snake hook brush. I love this model. Yeah, what about a couple lifeboats? Ooh, lifeboats. You've done a heck of a job on this. Great work. Thank you. Yeah. Couple lifeboats. Go watch Master and Commander. You'll be an expert in no time. You want to hear something funny? Is I remember watching that movie when it first came out, and I did not care for it. I don't even understand like why I didn't like it either. Like, I remember thinking this is gonna be a good movie. I bet you it was because of how long the movie is. And for me, movies back then weren't that supposed to be that long, so maybe that's part of it. I don't know. But I remember not being super into that movie when it first came out. But also, I can't judge. I can't say the 18-year-old me was wise in any way, shape, or form. I look back at some of my life decisions and I'm like, fuck, what'd you do there? What did you do? What and why? Come on. Yeah, but I think anybody could say that about themselves, right? At least back then. Okay. Let's get a little bit of wind in our flags, right? Sew that out. Get a little bit of movement for now. Is that the weird lighthouse one, or am I thinking of something else? Yeah, I think, yeah. I think you might be thinking of something else. I can't remember the premise of the movie. I just remember it was long. But if you guys are telling me it's a great movie, then I'll go rewatch it. Like, I'll actually give it a shot. Or I'll just play Sea of Thieves again. I like that game. That's a fun game. Okay. There we go. So just a little bit of movement. I'm not going to get too crazy on the detail of that. Just get some ripples happening. Take the damn standard and cut in a few more. That's going to be about it. I think for the sails, we go ahead and kind of add just a couple. A little bit of movement. I'm using the standard brush for this part because they're not tiny ripples, they're just kind of big ones. Still have the select rec. Yeah, I think it was a really good movie. Besides Vision is the doc. Okay. There was supposed to be 2 more movies. I'll play Sea of Thieves with you. I haven't played yet. You haven't played yet? Oh, man. Sea of Thieves is a game you gotta, like, commit to. You gotta be ready for it. You know? You gotta be like, alright, I got 5 hours and nothing to do. I mean, I'd be down to play for sure. That's partly why I haven't. That's partly why I haven't played much. Kamara! Everybody, Kamara's here. What's up, Kamara? Hello, hello. Shout out to the Kamara. Like, I'm sure everybody here knows who she is, but it don't matter. Yo, yo, yo. There we go. So I got a little bit of motion in my sails. Slightly tilted a little bit. Also, we can like center that a little bit more. Same with that. Put that there. Come on, grab that. Grab that one. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now let's focus on the beast. The beast. What's that? Oh, that's the tongue. We don't need the tongue. We don't need it because his mouth's not going to be open. Bring his head back to the beginning. Bring his eyes back to the beginning. That back to the beginning. Okay, great. There we go. Yeah. You're on YouTube today. Yep. Yeah. Pretty sweet there. Hey, MJ Scopes. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we're just kind of like slowly texturing everything, bringing it to life. How are you doing, MJ? Let's get the basic, let's get that guy. Come on. Back this up for a second. Ooh, whoops, wrong one. Okay. Gonna get some more geometry here, but I'm gonna bring it in manually instead of subdividing because I have some of the other stuff that's actually pretty much detailed. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and insert multiple edge loops. Alright, fine. You're gonna do that, aren't you? There we go. Let's split hidden so we can deal with just this right here. I'm going to bring in multiple edge loops like such. Yep. This way we can have enough vertices ourselves. Such and like such. It's a good way to control the detail. There we go. All good, just working that digital clay grind. Nice, man, nice. MJ, have I seen your... I feel like I haven't seen your ArtStation before. Do you mind sharing it? I'd love to see your stuff, dude. Like, I feel like I have, but then I can't think of it, so... I want to see your stuff. Alright, there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and multiply that up a few times to get that detail. Hey, MJ Sculpts art. Nice. Really? It's .art? Awesome. Nothing super impressive. I need to update it. Oh, that's alright. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I seen your Spider-Man. Okay, cool. Yes. Yeah, I recognize that Spider-Man. I was just curious. Yeah, update for sure. I'm constantly thinking I need to update my stuff more and more. What I would really like to do is get some client work on the on my portfolio. That's what I would really like to do. I haven't been able to really put any client work on there yet. Go. Yeah, that BART sentence is fun. Yeah. How's the motorcycle likeness project coming? Actually, I'm printing it. I'm printing it right now. In fact, if you guys want to see it, Bloop, bloop, bloop. Full screen. Transition. All right, so here's the first part of the motorcycle. I had to cut it into 3 parts to keep it super cool. It's hard to see. It's with that smoky black resin. Let me see if I can get closer. Hold on. There we go. I'm going to be ending up painting it, so it's, you know, it is what it is. But, and then this was the block it's going to sit on. So that's going to happen too. So the whole thing, everything's going to get painted. A little bit lifted, so I'm going to add a little bit of wood filler on a flat surface, kind of rebuild that, and then end up priming and painting a single color, which will be cool. Gotta go back to, there we go. Is that close enough? All right. All right, close enough. Is that because of NDA and so on? Yeah. A lot of this stuff is unfortunately due to NDA stuff. There's a couple things I did that I just thought wasn't, you know, portfolio worthy either. Like, that's the other caveat, is like some things you do for clients, you'll be like, that was cool, but I don't want to really show that. That happens sometimes, you know, you're just like, either it's not 100% worthy of the portfolio, or it wasn't big enough, or it's NDA. So I feel like it's kind of a little bit of both. But that's why, I mean, you know, that's why I always say it's okay for your portfolio to have like fan art and stuff, as long as you're updating it and changing it. Like this, I want this to be portfolio worthy. This could be pretty cool if it goes off right, but gotta just keep working it. Have you tried using resin smooth on FDM prints? I have tried using resin smoothing on FDM prints. I think it works really, really well. I really like that. There's another one that's not so good because you have to mix it right. But like your simple, like you know, your painted like UV light resin, that stuff works out really well. I really do like that. Got it from Uncle Jesse. How do you determine what goes into the portfolio, or if it's just not hot or so? That's a great question. Okay. I'm actually going to bring up my portfolio, and then let's talk about it, because I think that's super important. So if we go to my portfolio, the thing to remember is that everything is presentation when it comes to portfolio work. Also, my chat's being weird. 1 second. I'm just gonna refresh my chat real quick. So everything is presentation. Like, everything is presentation. So when you come here, I want you to see one of my best pieces right out the gate, and I want you to know what I go by on my socials and what I look like. Now, there are some people who have portfolios that show their best work as their profile pic. I disagree with that, because I think, especially now more than ever, people need to kind of know what you look like. You know, you're presenting you, so kind of be proud of who you are. So I want them to see my best work. I want them to associate it with who I am, like what do I look like, and then my name and everything I go by. So that's the first thing that I really focused on with my portfolio. And of course, just so you guys know, this is all opinion. Like, you know, there are some people who do it a little bit differently, but it's always opinion. Then the next thing that I really wanted to showcase is what you see first should be your best pieces, or the pieces that you think are equivalent to your best pieces. So my Sub-Zero, I think, is really good, along with my Chun-Li. Like, everything on this top row showcases something unique, either, you know, um, kind of showcases a lot of texturing, um, showcases a lot of difficulty with the actual, you know, with the actual posing. And also too, when I hover over it, it says what it is: Sub-Zero fan art, Chun-Li's Vega statue, Darth Grogu 3D printed fan art statue or sculpture statue. So I make sure to also identify that. But everything here is like the things that I consider to be my best. There are things I've sculpted that I don't consider my best, and so then I just don't put it there. And I'll explain a little bit of a difference too. But I'm also showing a progression of what I've done over a period of time. So this was done a year ago. So last year around this time, this was my best piece. It was a concept sculpt, and then the breakdown, and the final render. And I was really just showcasing that this just showcases that I can follow a concept. That's it. Here's the concept, here's the piece. That's it. That was the whole point of this piece. And then, same with this piece, again, it was concept driven. Here's the concept, here's the render. So then I started breaking away from that when I started realizing what I wanted to do, and I wanted to create sculptures. So then I took really challenging projects, and I always pushed myself for each project. So at the end of the day, you got to look at your stuff with the idea of, does it showcase your best work? Does it showcase technical abilities? Does it showcase that you can follow a concept, et cetera, et cetera? And then you got to figure out how you're going to break that down for what you're trying to achieve. I'm doing statue work, so my goal is to show you that I can make a statue from a concept and make it manufacturable. So that's where the 3D prints come in. But if you're trying to do games, then you need to show wireframes, texturing, you need to show the whole pipeline. So you have to be able to not only showcase the final image of what you can do, but how you got there. And luckily in the toy industry, they don't really care so much about how you got there. What they care about is that you can do it. And so that's super important, including like the breakaway, where I show how I keyed it, how it's, you know, so I break down the keys. Don't have to get too crazy with it. People see it and like, oh, okay, that makes sense. They broke it apart like that, and now it gets put together. Kind of gives you a close-up look of all the details, etc., etc. So now if we go to my Instagram, so for comparison. So what do you think about self-portrait for a portfolio pic? That's what I do. I think I should ditch it. No, actually, I think if you really think it's a good likeness and it really showcases who you are, so they can look at that self-portrait and say, oh, that's who he is. I don't think that's a bad idea if it's incredibly well. So, but I think it should be incredibly well. I get the sense, Ryan, of who you are. We've never met in real life, but I get the sense of what you look like based on your profile pics. And so I can put that in my head. So, you know, if I see you without a beard, it might be a little weird. But yeah. But no, I think as long as it's really good and it showcases how good you can do that, I think it's okay. You know? So let's go to my Instagram for a second. So my Instagram now showcases everything. This is where you can get really muddy. But like some of what I've done, for example, this Pinky and the Brain. I think this Pinky and the Brain is really good. This was a nice collab I did with Inspire. If you're here, hey, what's up, dude? But I don't think it shows anything different or anything new. I don't think it brings anything to the table that I haven't showcased here. So looking at my Pinky and the Brain, yes, I can do stylized sculpture. Great. Look at my Hollow Knight. Look at my Gravity Falls. Look at my Vegeta. Look at the creature, one-eyed creature box. Stylized. Okay. And I'm etching concept. So, yes, this was printable, and it was cool, but it wasn't showcasing anything new. So I don't think it was portfolio worthy. Even this guy, which is my own personal creation that I did for Christmas, I think this is really cool, but I really just did this for fun. So while there's some newer features and kind of storytelling, again, it's not showing anything different. than what I have going on here, which I think is a lot stronger. So it's kind of like deciding, is your portfolio is a representation, an extension of you, and it should be a living, breathing entity. And so if that portfolio isn't showcasing your very best and something new to the table that you've done, then it doesn't belong there. But that doesn't mean you can't share it. Nope, still have the beard. Okay, good. But my hair is significantly longer. Do need to update that. That was before the pandemic. I haven't cut since. Hey, that's okay too. In my portfolio pick, I have a nice clean cut. My hair is long, but my face is my face. Yeah. To be honest, I think DeviantArt is also a place where you can throw in whatever you want. Basically, ArtStation is your portfolio. DeviantArt or Instagram is where you throw everything you want. Exactly. And so again, you know, taking a look at certain factors like the sculpt off experiences and practices that I did, my updated Gwenum, 3 hour speed sculpts. Now, what you could do is there is a place where you can store your blogs. So if you're working on a really big project, aka like Kamara working on her Beetle, for example, and she wants to showcase every single step of the process, you can create a blog. And you can do that in your ArtStation. What I caution people who do that is make sure that your blog has a point and that it has a clear direction of where it's going, so that people aren't just stumbling across it and confused about what it is you're trying to achieve. So where ArtStation, it could just be like, look at the thing I did and I threw it together and it looks great. Wonderful, you know. This is the catch-all of everything you want to do. But a blog, even if it's a part of your portfolio, should have purpose. And as you can see here, I'm not a blogger, so I don't have that there. Ooh, I broke 2,000 followers. Holy crap. Guys, thank you so much. But again, like, you know, this one was commission. I thought this was pretty cool. It was something new, but it's not the very best. You know what I mean? Like, this was great. This was fun, commission piece, but I just didn't think. Commission piece, this was kind of cool. Again, didn't bring anything new to the table, just something to do. But you can see here, this was my original ArtStation breakdown, where I had my Gravity Falls, my Bowser, I had my Hulk versus Saitama, which I thought was cool. But I've grown since my Sailor Moon, so I removed the things that I thought didn't make an impact in my portfolio or didn't stand the test of time with my growth and success. Like the Sailor Moon is pretty cool. Actually, I mean, this showcases that I can do some sort of anime, but it's not the best anime face. This is where I think it lacks. Everything else is great about this, in my opinion. I really like what I did here. I'm not disappointed, but her face is nope. So I took that out. So again, you know, you just want to, I mean, you guys remember this piece? I think this was great back when I did it a year ago, but I learned so much. And as I grew and started seeing how I wanted to go, showcasing my abilities, this feels lacking when a year ago it was my very best. It's not anymore. So yeah. Is that a shark eating a cheesecake? Yes, it is. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, it was a fun little commission piece. Yep. Look how cute he is. Yeah. So again, it's about being super, super picky, you know? It's really about, like, Powerpuff Girls used to be, you know, a big part, but ArtStation, you can kind of showcase a little bit more of your abilities and where you've come and how far you've come since. It's a great way to track things, great way to see your hits. I mean, look, I even did a Blender donut. But yeah, like somebody asked me a long time ago why this sculpt was not in my portfolio, and at the time it was, but I would say over the past, when I did this back in 2019, when I did it, I thought it was fun. But then after a while, I just realized, you know what? It needs to go away. So, so that's the thing. You just kind of decide when something is working, when it's your best, and then when it becomes not your best, that's when you should throw it out. Like, I probably could put this foot in my portfolio if I wanted to show some sort of like anatomy studies. But yeah. And that's the other thing too. In your ArtStation, you can manage your portfolio. You can create like 3D printed models. Everything I've 3D printed would go in here, which reminds me I got to put Vega versus Chun-Li in there. And then everything at once. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that's good tips. Hopefully you guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Just be very picky, be very selective, and don't be afraid, to also come to your about section and write up. Like, I'm actually going to reword this again because not only am I sculpting freelance in Statue Toy World, I'm also starting to teach more. And by teaching and being a part of Pixelogic, I now can update, because this about summary is also your resume. Come down here, you can click and you can actually download my resume and take a look at my resume and see my professional experience. And this summary kind of gives you that idea of what it is. So also too, schooling, education, any type you throw your STLs out, where you're located, what you normally stream, which I gotta update this. It's already outdated, and I've updated it like a month ago. But yeah. And then of course too, with portfolio work, with your studio work, make sure you get clearance to put it on your portfolio. There's a lot of studios who don't want you to do that. But that doesn't mean you can't have a USB portfolio where you can, plug it in when COVID ends and you're going to a physical job. Be like, I have a portfolio that has some cool shit. I can't post it publicly, but I can show you. I can't wait till my studio work isn't under NDA anymore. I have like 6 characters that are still all better than most of my current portfolio. Right. But then the other flip side too, Kamara, is that you can do something similar to what you've done again for your private studies. So you can say like, oh, like let's say my Chun-Li statue, for example. Let's say I did a cool, fun statue that showcased that anti-gravity experience that I wanted to bring to the table, right? So let's say I really want to showcase this. Like, maybe take the thing that you really love about that project and create a personal project that showcases the same thing without breaking NDA rules. Because usually NDA just comes down to likeness, development, the IP of the character. If you step away from the IP of the character and you create a personal project that showcases the best things you liked about the project on the technical side, you can start creating projects based off of that, which is partly of what I've been doing. So, just an idea. I don't know, for me, for example, I don't have any project that I could throw into Instagram or DeviantArt. If I work on art, I do it for my portfolio, and if I already see that the quality isn't what I expect it to be for my portfolio, I cancel it. I work months on an environment, and it's just way better to just cancel it if it saves a lot of time. Yeah, see, I can't speak on the environment side of things. What I could say though, Martin, is maybe, for example, like what you're doing with your sculpting rocks, maybe what you should do is sculpt a lot of practice rocks. Just put that project on hold for like a day and then practice sculpting rocks, and then throw that shit on Instagram and get people looking at your little things that then you bring into your bigger environment pieces. So, one day you sculpt a tree for fun, one day you sculpt a rock, one day you sculpt a boat, one day you sculpt little aspects that will be in your portfolio, but you can share them individually as small little digestible bits. How am I using TikTok to get your work out there? Does it seem worth the time and effort? Okay, so MJ, that's actually really fascinating question, because I'm actually trying it. So I'm creating a TikTok video a week and it's really to just kind of showcase something fun that I've done. I'm probably going to do it with the anatomy. I create like a little time lapse. I don't know if it's going to get me work, but it is something I'm experimenting with because I feel like artists are starting to move to TikTok and move away from YouTube. So if I can bring anything to the table that's like, you know, I sculpted a hand and you can see it come to life really quickly and digest it, I think it could be beneficial. But I do think it's going to be more of the Instagram thing where you can kind of just regurgitate a bunch of crap on there and people will swallow it if it's cut right. TikTok is weird because you got to remember that people's attention spans are no more than 7 to 30 seconds. And 30 seconds, I'm talking about the patient 37-year-old me who's like, oh, that's kind of cool. But I've skipped TikToks in less than 5 seconds because it was a late start or two. TikTok is weird. TikTok, you need to be like, check me out, check me out, check me out. You need to like surprise the person almost. And I find that to be a little difficult sometimes. So yeah, I'm not quite sure if it's worth the time and effort. I think it's worth playing with, but I don't know if it's going to provide me any work. But that doesn't mean it can't bring traction. So it's possible, but I feel like TikTok is kind of a little bit of a hit or miss at this point. Especially since what I see on TikTok for 3D printing and sculpting, it's very low traction. Like some of the best videos on TikTok for 3D printing get like 200-300 likes, whereas somebody pranking their brother or, you know, sticking a cable into a potato to see if it has energy properties gets like 500,000 to 2 million views. Yeah, I don't know. So actually not a bright idea to have a colossal portfolio, but the pieces in there need to be substantial. Yes. Yeah. Everything in your portfolio needs to be substantial, purposeful, and just showcase the best part of you. Because remember, when somebody looks at your portfolio, the very first thing they're going to see is who you are as an artist and what you represent. And if you represent mediocre, then they're just going to pass you by. If you represent, you know, dynamic and in your face energy, then you're going to get a little bit of attention. That doesn't mean you're going to get work. That just means you'll get looked at. You can't really guarantee anything, yeah. So create 3D prints of parts of frames. Exactly, right? Yeah. You know, I've never been really trendy on any social media platform. You know, my stuff on Instagram gets anywhere between 50 to 100 likes at any given time. That's great for me. That's digestible. I've seen some amazing artists only get 50 likes, and I've seen some mediocre stuff get like 3,000 likes. I think elements of like TikTok and Instagram, even Twitter to a degree, I think a little bit of it is popularity and luck and knowing how to work the algorithm. You know, I don't have everything to post every day, so I feel like I'm already losing out on golden opportunities to be more socially popular on the Instagram world. But, you know, it is what it is. But if you do get success, please tell me, and then tell me how to do it. Yep, I'm doing the Beetle now. Going to spend some time cleaning up and reworking previous projects. Several just need help with presentation. And then off to new things that should be faster, like more of a normal pace. Right, exactly. Oh, the other thing too, presentation is key. That's actually a great thing. I heard somebody say it the other day, and I disagreed with it, but I wasn't in a place that I felt like it was going to be a positive conversation. But somebody said presentation these days don't necessarily matter, and I completely disagree with that. I think presentation is everything. So if you're doing stuff that's just for sculpture work in ZBrush, make sure you get a consistent look about you. You can see down here on the bottom row, I was kind of bouncing all over the place. And then if you look on the top row, you can see these 2 to these 3, even these 4, this little reach right here is starting to hone in a little bit of a consistent a consistent look and feel to it. This is when I switched over to Marmoset tool bag. Right here. This is a little bit more Photoshoppy. But right here is your Marmoset. Deviate too much from itself, but down here is definitely a big jump. But because of there's a year worth of progression here, I'm keeping it. Even though this part's a little bit like not as consistent as this row right here, in my opinion. Like, I almost don't like this one with the way it is, but when you click on it, it's pretty bold. It's pretty in your face. There's a lot happening here. There's a lot to digest. So I kind of like this. I also did this in 24 hours. A full one live stream, 24-hour live stream when I hit so many viewers. So that was also like, I bled for that. Yeah, Chris has a video on Instagram. Of course he does. That's nice. So Marmoset Toolbag helps with consistent renders. With Blender, for example, and don't get me wrong, you can get consistent renders out of Blender. I just don't know how to use Blender to my advantage, where I know how to use Marmoset. So I'm picking a render engine that's dedicated to rendering, that dedicates a specific look, and it gives me a lot of features really quickly that I can utilize and know how to utilize. You can get consistent looks out of Blender. For me, I couldn't. I just was always playing and trying to do something new, and it hurt me more than helped me. So I decided that Blender wasn't something that I wanted to rely on. So I went ahead and bought a render engine that I wanted to learn more about, and then I dedicated to that. So it was a business decision to move towards Marmoset only because I already knew how to operate in it. That's what I learned in. That's what I knew worked. Where Blender, I always felt like I wanted to do something different. So it was kind of a decision to hone in and get a certain look. Again, Blender's great for that if you know how to use it. I didn't, so I pulled away. Yeah. Thanks for all the info. That was incredibly informative. Not a problem, Zelda. Presentation totally matters. You won't get a job if you have a portfolio full of blurry renders and or showcasing bad work that you could easily hide. Exactly. Yep. I'm keeping some of the older pieces as they are, just fixing up presentation. Exactly. So I can show how much I've improved. Yep. It's absolutely 100% correct. Yeah. Just remember, you're providing the best of you have to offer. That's it. You know? Not everything you do is going to be golden, but the things that you do, you do. That's really what you want to... It's what you really want to focus on more than anything else. And also laugh when you say do-do. So you don't use the ZBrush bridge to the one that they partnered with. Do you use Substance Painter as well? I do use Substance Painter sometimes. Because I work in toys, sculptures, I don't usually... I do high-res sculpting, meaning that I sculpt all the details in there. Substance Painter doesn't work in that workflow for me. But I know how to use Substance because I've also studied how to make game assets. I just don't use it all the time because it's not part of the pipeline that I generate for making toys. I can do 90% of the work, 99% of the work I can do in ZBrush, or pop it over to Blender or Maya, even if I had to use Maya. But again, I don't have to retopo or anything, so generally I can just stay in ZBrush most of the time. But I do know how to use Substance, and I have had projects that I play with that do use Substance. But I'm not showcasing, and I don't showcase it because I'm not trying to get into an industry that uses Substance. That makes sense. As someone who hires freelancers regularly in my day job, presentation is very important. Also making sure that the content of your portfolio is similar to the job you're applying for. Absolutely. 100% MJ. That's like, yeah, if you want to work for Blizzard, show that you can work for Blizzard. You know, if you want to work, like, yeah, if you want to work for any company specifically, hone in on what they sculpt, hone in on what they do, hone in on their pipeline, and then showcase that you can. And you only need to really showcase like a couple really amazing sculpts with that style, and then you send that company those projects. You say, hey, this is my Blizzard portfolio. This is my Sony Entertainment portfolio. This is my, Santa Monica Studio portfolio. Like, you can have different sections to send those links off. It doesn't have to be everything at once, because you also don't want the person who could possibly hire you to be fiddling through everything. Show them what matters. Show them what works. Show them you can do the job, and then you'll have a better chance. Yeah. Yeah, don't go apply for hyper-realistic monsters or demons when your portfolio is all cartoony and cute. Yep. Another thing that is interesting to me is that on ArtStation, more people have their actual names up. I've gone by this moniker for over, 23 years. You mean, Kim, you shouldn't apply for Pixar with hyper-realistic Final Fantasy-esque portfolio? It probably won't benefit you. Right, exactly. So you used Marmoset tool bag over Keyshot. Why for? Because it was cheaper. What you get with Keyshot and the features that I would want, I'd have to spend well over $500 to get it. And Marmoset, I spent $300. And Marmoset Tool F4 is also a texture program now. So not only is it a Baker engine, but it's also a texture profile. So I can even hone in my pipeline further, because now I can set stuff up for real time if I wanted to. Move it over to Marmoset, bake out a bunch of maps, and start texturing. Could do that. So Marmoset Toolbag 4 has a lot of benefits, and it's a lot cheaper. And really, that was it. It was just the financial cost. Because I actually know Keyshot. I worked with Keyshot 6 and 7 and 8 for a while. But Keyshot, Keyshot's like $1,000, $2,000 program. It's freaking expensive if you buy it on your own. I know you can get the Pixo Pro for $500, $600. Hey, Alex, thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, so for me, it was about a financial decision. But there is nothing wrong with Keyshot. I love Keyshot. I'm just broke. Yeah, no problem. Yep. Then don't worry about it. But you have other options. Go to Blender. While ZBrush does have a freer version, yeah, the best version is the full version. But if you really want it, then you'll buy it. And so, find the program and the workflow that works for you, and then from there you'll be able to present your best. Yeah, no problem. Oh boy, yeah. Keyshot on its own. Now, if you go to Pixelogic and you buy the bundle Keyshot Pro, I think the Pro version of Keyshot is $550 for the Pixelogic Pro version of Keyshot. Plus the bridge is like, what, $250? Something like that? Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I never even considered Keyshot personally way out of my budget. Yep, I agree. But, again, Keyshot is pretty cool. Keyshot's cool if you can, if it's something you want to look at. Yeah. All right, I'm going to go ahead and actually mask off this area real quick. MJ Sculpts, if you don't mind me asking, where do you work? Can't wait for Keyshot 4 to get a color picker. Oh my gosh, yeah, they will really be in business. Absolutely. Yeah, Keyshot every day is coming up with something more and more and more that it's just like, benefiting the artist over anything else. And it's exciting. It's really exciting. Atomic Mass Games. Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I couldn't get a real answer. The classes I've taken, Shane is kind of non-committal about answering it. Yeah. Yeah. Again, you know, the thing to remember when it comes to any advice given, really just make sure that you use discernment with your own stuff. Never look to any one person for the end-all be-all answer, because we all have a different approach. I begged Shane to tear my portfolio apart. Like, I really wanted him to. So, like, I sent him my portfolio and I was like, please shred it apart. You can go super mean. You can be evil to me. Like, I don't care. I just really need to know, is this portfolio worth anything, or am I wasting my time? Because I'm serious about getting into toys, getting into figures, even if it's just freelancing. And sure enough, you know, he did it, and he was brutally honest. But that took me to the next level, and that's what he told me, everything I told you, and that's where I went ahead and said, okay, this is what I need to do, so I'm gonna do it. What brush did I use for that? I don't remember what brush I used for up here. I'm like kind of confused now. I'm all like, what the hell is, what did I do? Yeah. Actually looking at Marvel Crisis miniature games. Nice, nice, nice. I'm like staring at this I'm staring at your job right now, MJ. Yep, right, that's the stuff we need. Don't tiptoe around it. Hit me right between the eyes. Exactly. Coming releases. These are really cool. I may have to blow you guys up. MJ, you might hear a lot from me, I might say. That's really cool. I love that stuff. Oh, this Deadpool is awesome. I've been wanting to sculpt another Deadpool. That's so freaking awesome. Alright, well. Loop. Guess I'll just have to bookmark this place. Alright. Just fiddling with Substance Designer, to be honest. Trying to make an arcade style carpet from the 80s. Ooh, nice, Lupus. Yeah, I was with Final Fantasy Flight Games before. Both are owned by Asmodee? Okay. Where we worked on games like Scent Legend of the Dark that comes out in August. Nice! Okay, great, dude. That's freaking awesome. I could see me sculpting stuff for you. If I should be so forward. Alright, what? I'm also trying to think of like what alpha I used. So that might be as I'm like sitting back. Yeah, that's some awesome stuff. Yeah, IR Sculpts and I were actually just talking about this yesterday. I greatly prefer the critique style of tell me what I'm doing wrong. Make sure I know why it's wrong, even if that means rubbing it in my face a little. Then tell me how to fix it. Blunt, straight to the point, no sugarcoating. I'll never forget it. Yeah, absolutely. Look, everything can be improved, right? but improvement for me comes over time. So when I see things like I make a mistake, or I don't like something, or I don't think something is working necessarily, then you have to kind of sit back and say, is it worth fixing now? Or is it worth remembering that and noting that I need to improve on that, so the next time I approach something, I fix it right? Does that make sense? Because here's what I mean by that. So for example, when I first started this, oh my god, I'll show you guys. When I first started this project, it was horrible. It was not my best. But you know, I was designing this whole thing on the fly. So here's where we started, right? And then we got to something like this. And I was like, okay, cool. But then I literally, designing on the fly, had no idea where I was going to even go with this. And so I scrapped 90% of this project when I realized I woke up one day and didn't like anything about it, and started doing something more like this. So it's okay to recognize where you are in your project and whether or not it's worth pivoting. For me, it was worth pivoting because I had just started and I had done 2 streams, and those streams were helpful. But I was also answering a lot of questions, and I wasn't really getting where I wanted to go with this. Now I'm at a point where I'm really enjoying this process. I really like it where it's at. Pardon me. But I know, like, you know, I had to pivot. But if I got near completion and I thought it was okay, like, I would just kind of sit there and decide to myself if it's worth continuing or not. Kind of like what Martin does. You just have to be honest with yourself. I think I bought a copy of ZBrush for around $560 almost 10 years ago. That may seem like a lot, although not now. That ZBrush is almost $1,000 exactly. I bought it at $750 mark. But I look at it as an investment in my professional career and an asset in my toolbox. Absolutely, MJ. Well said. Right? You want to work for Atomic Mass Games too? If you're not willing to invest in yourself, then you need to reevaluate what you really want to do. Absolutely. Hands down, dude. Hands down. Yep. Which goes more to the point too, like in my Discord, there is conversation right now about investing, how to talk to clients. Like, there's conversations happening because of the YouTube channel. Is it called the Future or the Futur? Because there's no E at the end, but it's a great YouTube channel that talks about, you know, talking with clients, working with clients, how to have a conversation with clients. All that stuff is really just awesome. And it's something that I've always tried to spend a lot of time doing. Are the scales a polymesh? Are the scales a polymesh? Sorry. The scales are actually a texture. I actually bought a brush on ArtStation. It was on sale at the time. It was 250 dragon scales, and I went ahead and just bought it because I thought it was really cool. I'll actually send it to you guys right now. Few details. Here, this is what I got. It was really, really cool because I was just being lazy and I didn't want to sculpt my own scales. And because I'm not selling this isn't for anything other than a Pixo stream and possibly just a giveaway. I just went ahead and supported. You know, just because you can make something from scratch doesn't mean you always have to. Sometimes it's good to just go ahead and support other artists. And that's what I chose to do. Yeah. I feel I have a long way of learning prior to considering client discussion so far. Yeah, that's a helpful brush. It absolutely is, especially since I'm on a time crunch when doing this, because again, I'm streaming for Pixelogic. I already told people there too that I'd be sculpting this on my private stream just to improve it, just to get it to where I want. But you know, there's only so many. There's like what, 4 Sundays in a month usually. So I was like 4 streams. Usually a project takes me a week to 2 weeks to get where I want it to be. So I was like, yeah, let's get this finished. So. Like, I'm actually not digging this Tails about what alpha did I use? Oh, you know what? I think I remember now. I think I went to alpha. Did I do that? No, I didn't do that. I can't remember what brush that was. Okay. That's okay. You know what? That's all right. Oh, maybe it was maybe it was one of the dragon brushes. Let me load that in. So go to the purchase brushes, lizard scale brushes, alphas. No, that's alphas. Go back. ZBrush brushes. Do the drag. I think it was like something like this. Nope, not that one. Not that one either. Okay, I'll have to figure it out. Or you know what I'll do is I'll just take the standard brush. Maybe I'll take the clay buildup. Let's do that. Let's try something. I don't like it. See? Watching me struggle. I don't like it. Trying to think here. Okay. Actually, let's take this. Let's actually add a darker color to this. So let's grab this green. Right there. Come down a little bit more like that. Fill color. There we go. That's a little bit better. That's better. Yeah, I like that. Okay, Ian's and friends gotta run off to work. Thanks for the time for the stream. Talden, no problem. Alright, thanks, man, for the stream. I'll catch you as soon as possible. You're super helpful. I hate to have to go. I have to work right now. Bye, everybody. Dude, no problem. Mike Kesey's. Talden, thanks for stopping by. We're actually going to be ending the stream here in a couple minutes. We didn't even play Stream Ragers today. Sell this out. Do I like that? Or maybe I can try to find like some kind of tiny scales. Let's look at some of these other brushes. That doesn't work. Let me see something. Let's go to my... I guess they'd be kind of more see-through, wouldn't there? What's that YouTube channel with the client stuff? Here, I'll pop it up real quick. You'll love it. It's really great. It's really just great information. Oh, of course it didn't. Did it not go on Twitch side? There we go. Okay. Okay. I think actually this is just too thick. I think I actually want to make that thinner. So let's go to deformation. And then I think I just want to deflate this a little bit. Yeah, see, that's what I wanted. All right, yeah, there we go. Ah, man, when you just think of that thing that you want to do. No problem. No problem. Enjoy work as best you can. Absolutely. There we go. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, I'm going to try something real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hide this object. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to copy it. And I think what I'm going to do is I think what I'm going to do is take this slice curve, come over here real quick. I'm going to slice. No, it's going to happen. Don't argue with me. I'm going to go over here like this. Oh, come on. Back that up. Delete higher, delete lower. Okay. Yeah, we got about 10 minutes left. I'm going to end the stream a little early today. So we're going to go here like this. Let's come here. I'm going to cut this guy right there like such. I'm going to grab this, delete hidden, close holes, right? And I'm going to do the exact same thing like that. Grab this one, delete hidden, close holes. I'm going to go ahead and move that bad boy. We're going to make this. We're going to make this his fins. His tail fins. Because I don't really want to reinvent the wheel. Are they going various directions? They're all kind of going in the same direction, but there's a little bit of inconsistency to them. I think I want to redo them. Are you questioning me, right? Are you questioning? I'm just kidding. That's why I'm actually fixing so much than what I did on the Pixo stream. I was also really nervous, guys. Like, I was very nervous the first few Pixo streams. I don't know if you guys could tell. You're just watching out. No, I'm just teasing you. Yeah, thanks, man. No, I appreciate it, dude. And you guys know I love the feedback too. Are you kidding me? But yeah, I have an idea on how I want to handle that. There's also like stretching here that I called out that I was just like, let's fix that. For your first time, you did good in the Pixel streams. Thanks. Thanks, yeah. Now, I mean, now it's crazy. It's like, it's been, this will be be a month. Coming up real soon. This next stream will be my 4th stream. Isn't that crazy? That already happened. It's already gonna be my 4th stream. Getting a little less nervous each time. So that's good. There we go. Crazy, right? It goes fast. It does. It's insane. Yeah. Yeah, you're doing EXO for Pixo. Thanks. Yep. It's already been a month, Kamara. It's already been a month. Isn't that something? And they haven't fired me yet. Just kidding. You know, when you sit there and you're just like, that imposter syndrome kicks in real quick, right? You're just like, you guys still like what you see? Okay. I'm getting the vibe that the dragon is flipping up this way with its tail. Is that what you're going for? Honestly, I don't know if I like it this way. I was actually considering having his tail go underwater. Hello, hello, I am Joker. Hello, how you doing? How's it going? Alright, we're gonna do a fun little trick. We're gonna mask by color. By poly paint. I'm gonna select that right there. Perfect. Okay, that's not gonna do that thing. That's fine. That's fine. Let's go back to let's load a new brush. And I actually want to do the draw scales. Is that what I want to do? So I want to give the sense that these scales are a little bit. Can I kind of redo them a little bit? Also, the color's throwing me off too, so. Put that down. I'm tired, but good. How about you? Yeah, I'm tired, but good too, man. But I'm good. Just sculpting, refining this project I've been working on for a little bit. Taking care of the things I don't like. Let's grab that real quick. Let's actually fill this whole thing with a single color so I can see what I'm fixing and what I'm not fixing. Yeah, really, Ryan, I was just trying to create action with the tail. Not quite sure how I feel about it yet. If we're being honest. Okay. Let's go ahead and and that was draw brush 1. Okay, cool. That's the take the lazy mouse. Yeah, what the heck? Okay, I'm not quite sure why that's doing that. Okay. Let's just go to brushes, drag rec. Come on. I think it was 8, actually. Nope. Wow, that was not 8 at all. I gotta write these brushes down to 5. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you're trying with feathers. You're struggling with feathers on this Trico. Ooh, yeah, feathers are always fun. Are you trying to use nanomesh in any way, shape, or form to like get the result that you're looking for, or are you just trying to just make it all work? Okay, there we go. That's the texture that I want. There it is. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and mask this portion off. Gonna quickly just mask this off. You can turn Lazy Mouse on, by the way, too. Those of you who don't know, you can now use Lazy Mouse with your mask, which is awesome. So you can get some really good masking happening. Just so helpful. There are fish scale brushes. Yeah, see. That's how I rendered it, but I did it with one side polys so I could dynamically fill it in for printing. But it's just not working, and I have to sculpt them in. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and sharpen that up a little bit, mask off those areas. Sharpen all that stuff. There we go. Cool. Okay. Tired of feathers. Did the owl raccoon cartoon, but the owl wasn't so bad because it didn't cover its feathers. Just big major feather. Yeah. Yeah, feathers are pain in the ass. Every time. But I want to print Draco as big as I can, so I need that detail. Oh, yeah. How big are you going? Are you just guessing on the scale? I only pulled the trigger on the Epax E10. Ooh, nice, and it arrives tomorrow. Holy shit, nice, dude. This could be solved with tileable texture, yes. Yes. The reason why I'm doing it this way is just out of sheer want and control of it. How you doing, Hawk? There we go. Yeah, I want to aim for about 12 inches at least, but Trico in the game is like 20 feet tall. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, that's pretty big. Yeah, part of the other reason why I wanted to do this by hand, Hawk, and not anywhere else, I didn't really want to cut UVs. So I didn't really want to sit there and split it up and then fiddle with that. So I figure it's just faster for me to do it this way. So sheer preference. Oops. Okay. Okay. Now I got to keep this consistent with the other side. There we go. Thanks. I'm hoping to end up printing my Bizarro at quarter scale and try my hand at some molding and casting. Oh, nice, dude. Cast and mold is fun. It's a little bit of a process, but definitely get you the results you need. I'm gonna go ahead and just isolate this part. There we go. Cool. Yeah, I think it looks a lot better. Let's go ahead and save it. All right. So the plan, guys, is to continue working on this a little bit more on Friday, and then we'll be getting it to a point where then I'll prep it for 3D printing during the Pixelogic stream on Sunday at 5 p.m. So if you guys aren't following Pixo, or if you just want to check out whenever I go live, join my Discord. They'll definitely... And I'll let you guys know when I go live there if you like the project. And for those of you who are new, thank you for coming in. I am a toy statue sculptor, and you can find my socials there. Check me out. But, alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it for the day. I got other stuff to do. Commissions to hunt, you know, all that good stuff. But thank you guys so much for stopping by, hang out. And I'll see you all Friday. Looking pretty awesome. Big waters. Nick is looking good. Thanks, man. Have a good one. You too, MJ Sculpts. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye, 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 bye. You too. Have a great evening, Miss One.